Hello YouTube, today we're going to be talking about the new Mac Pro. Now I personally owned the old Mac Pro that came out, and I liked it a lot. Now, I'm not much of an Apple fan altogether. I don't like their MacBook Pros, I don't like their MacBook Airs, I'm not too much on their Mac Minis, I don't really like the iPhone, I don't really like the iPod. I like the Mac Pro because I didn't mind the OS X operating system, and the Mac Pro offered competitive features. First of all, generally speaking, if you looked at comparable workstations from IBM or Lenovo, as you're supposed to say, they cost about $200 more-ish on the same specs, but I think that $200 was worth for the OS X operating system, which would offer things like Final Cut and a lot of other features that were nice, which I liked. Now, this new Mac Pro, this new Mac Pro that's coming out is a very, very large leap backward. Not really backward because they've always, with the Pro series, have been expandable. This is just a horrible, horrible mistake on Apple's part. The system, they lost its only thing that was good about it. The only thing I liked about the Mac Pro is that you could update it. You could throw in your own hard drives, I personally bought the 6-core model. If you buy the 6-core, it has two CPU slots in there, and you can put in a second CPU if you want, which I did. You can put in your own graphics cards. You can do all of that, and you had a ton of memory options. You can, even when Apple doesn't really state it, you can actually put about 128 gigabytes of memory in the Mac Pro. Trust me, I've done it, and it seems like they've just destroyed all these features that were there. Now, yeah, the system is going to be faster. It's going to be a lot faster than the Mac Pro that's currently out. But it's not going to be fast for long. Just wait. Even knowing this thing has giant Xeon CPUs and it has these AMD, because you know everybody likes AMD professional graphics cards, wink wink, and all of that, it's only going to be up to date for 6 months, and then there's going to be new graphics cards out. There's going to be, who knows, there could be a new CPU architecture out, there could be a new RAM architecture out, there could be a new everything. Could make this thing a piece of junk within only a few months. And that's the biggest issue of this. It's not, you can't make it faster. It's like a MacBook Pro. Once a MacBook Pro is slow, and once something new came out, its price drops, its usefulness drops. And this thing gets affected by that too. And that's why I have to say it's not a professional computer. It should not be called Mac Pro. It should be called the Mac. It should just be called the Mac. Not the new Mac Pro, nothing. Because it's not a professional computer. There's nothing professional about this thing. You can't expand it. Once it's out of the box, the only thing you can replace in it is a PCIe slot for an SSD and 4 memory slots. I don't know if you remember this, but the old Mac Pro had, I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe 8 memory slots. And so that means this thing, you can't do anything with it. Most of it's a heatsink. It's tiny, which is okay. And also, aesthetically, it's ugly in my opinion. It looks like a trash can. Let's go to the top here. It looks like a trash can. It looks like the trash can I have in my kitchen. I bet you if I put that in a public place somewhere, nobody would try to steal it. They'd probably try to put their cigarette butts in it, because it looks like a piece of trash. It's shiny and whatever, but it's the most awkward looking computer on earth. Like, why? It's hard to imagine why Apple would make such a big mistake on this. Personally, if I were to make a Mac Pro, what I would do, let me just do a little Google search in the Google image search here, really quickly, and have a look at the original Mac Pro. Is that a Mac or is that? Can't see. Yeah, it's a Mac Pro. So let's have a look at this. So, what? Oh, I hate Google Images. They always show ones that don't work. Okay, so here's one next to a Power Mac. Okay, so what I would do with it, I would first most likely replace the CD drive covers for most likely a chance to put a FireWire controlled SD card / CF card reader, because a lot of people in the video industry use these computers, and a lot of cameras around use CF. They use memory cards of some sort. I would also make sure to keep the FireWire ports, because people in the video industry, the EX1, the EX3, you can talk about many different cameras, they use FireWire. I would also add well, what else? I would leave the case very similar to what it is. I'd probably leave the covers the way they were and have it so when you press them, if you press the cover, like right there, you'd be able to push it in and there'd be ports. And there'd be a CF card reader, there would be an SD card reader, or maybe 2 SD card readers. There would be extra USB there, and extra FireWire ports. And then maybe on the top it would have something similar, like maybe even more card readers. On top of that, if we look at this one and we just keep going through, we'll notice that, let's see, let me just go to the... Here we go, I/O. So, oops. Now, I personally don't think that Thunderbolt... I like Thunderbolt, but it's not that professional of a standard. Yes, it works, but it's... I don't know, I just don't think it... I think that they should have possibly did something like 4 Thunderbolt ports and put FireWire there, because FireWire is still a very largely used standard. I know you can get a Thunderbolt to FireWire cables, you can get those. But also, they should have put 2 DVI ports on there, if they're going to do it that way. And if it's a real professional computer, one thing that I think that the Mac Pro should have always had was 2 CPU, or 2 PCUs, power supply units. So there'd be 2 plugs, and if one were to die, it would still be running, because it's still considered a professional unit. And a lot of servers I own, a lot of workstations I've seen, have 2 PSUs. And considering that this thing is probably going to be expensive, it's probably going to cost more than the Mac Pro does now. If you go to the Mac Pro right now, so what you usually do, go here. Usually if you, I really forget how to go through this stupid site, it sucks. I do not like the Apple site at all. So currently the system costs about $2,500 on the base, which is 1 quad core, 6 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte, and a 5770. All this old, outdated stuff, but still. I'm betting you it's probably going to cost, the base model is probably going to cost closer to this. I think it might be like that. I could be wrong. It's probably not going to be cheaper, that's for sure. And also they could have, although I guess the wireless, it's fine. There's no big deal there. But these are just my opinions. The system is just, it's a bad idea. The way it is, it's just, they could have done so much more of this unit, and they could have, what they should have done is what they've done with the MacBook Pros, what they've done with the MacBook Airs, with the iPhones almost. You know what I mean? They should have just revised the system they had. They should have just fixed the shortfalls the system had, because it's lovely. Nobody is bored of the look of the Mac Pro. Nobody is. It's a lovely machine. It is a piece of art. And they should have just added to it. They should have just made it better. They could have done so many things to it. But nope, they want to make some shitty ass trash can that you're never gonna be able to make faster. It's gonna be outdated out of the box. So that's just my opinion. If you disagree with me, let me know. If you do agree with me, also let me know. Just comment away. Tell me what you think. Do you love this unit? Do you hate it? Make sure to press the like button, and subscribing to my channel certainly helps me, so please do it. Anyway guys, have a great day. And please, if you're thinking about buying this unit, really consider what you're buying. Consider how much it's going to be worth in a year. Okay guys, see ya.